Christina Alexandra, Christy Hines, Stormy Maya, Crystal Wilson, Teresa Celeste, Adrian Lockett, Melody, Cassie, and Every are on the brink of womanhood, navigating their way through life, sexual liberation, and the consequences of the decisions they make. So, sexual liberation is another term for women to be hoes. This whole culture has been pushed really since the 70s, late 60s, 70s. During the civil rights, the whole phase, sexual liberation. We're gonna break down the norms. If a guy can have sex with 50 women and not be judged, we want to have sex with 50 guys and not be judged. 50 guys is just this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. So the female liberation was in competition with the men. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be judged for being hoes. That was the whole point of the sexual liberation of women back in the late 60s during the MLK and Malcolm X days. That's when, especially for the black community, that's when the black community ultimately became destroyed, when our women was more concerned about being hoes rather than being a asset to the community, being an asset to their household, being an asset to their black man, being an asset to their children, adding value into everything that they do with their femininity and their discipline. So the mind of a hoe has really been pushed. It's all throughout the Bible. Women have always been hoes, but it's just like it really has been pushed through politics. It's one thing for, is just a part of society. People do what they do, but when you start to institute this into law, when you start opening up these doors, women can be men, men can be women. You open up this sexual door. This is what you get. All the women, not all the women, but the whole phase look like it's winning for now. Look like it's winning for now because the marital rate is at 6.8 in comparison to the 1990s, where for every 1,000 people, for every 1,000 people, 6 people were married now. But back in the 1990s, early 1990s, for every 1,000 people, 9.8 people were getting married. So it has dropped, and it really should be much higher. For every 1,000 people, it should be at least 20 people getting married. That's still very low, even for the 90s. That is still fairly very low. So you have 1,000 people, only 20 people is getting married. So that's 10 men and 10 women. That's sad. That's still sad, even in the 90s. If you have 1,000 people, at least 50 people should be getting married. At least 50, because it's not the culture. The culture is to create broken homes. It serves the elitist agenda. More broken homes, I mean more men, young boys won't have the resources they need to be developed. And ultimately, their asses will be going to jail because they'll be taking risks. You got to survive, right? Marriage is a beautiful thing. I don't know why. It just makes life easier. And marriage is just beneficial. Now, the way we go about it in America is all contract. And I saw this pastor, I think Tony Evans, talking about marriage is not a contract, it's a covenant. Marriage is not a contract, it's a covenant. Meaning it's a sacred promise between man, woman, and God, right? Holy Spirit. It's a triangle relationship. And it's up to you to fulfill your duties. And God has to be the source of your relationship. So they eliminated God. We have all these whole faith, got all these girls out here in the world. And the women are, this is how I know women are the weaker of the species, because they believe anything. As long as you can stroke their ego, as long as you can make them feel good, you got them. Just like you can have a good dude, right? He works all the time. He hold it down. He gives this woman everything. But if you can stimulate a woman, put it like this, if you can make her, what I mean by feel